China is sweating, regional rivals are recalculating, and military analysts are leaning in because Australia, once the quiet ally in the corner, is transforming into a force built to dominate the Indo-Pacific chessboard. This isn't a minor upgrade or a symbolic show of strength. This is a strategic upheaval, the kind of shift that ripples through intelligence briefings, reshapes naval strategies, and forces adversaries to think twice before making a move. For decades, Australia has been known as the dependable professional in the room, steady, disciplined, and unfailingly reliable in any coalition. It contributed decisively in joint operations, excelled in peacekeeping, and maintained flawless interoperability with its allies, especially the United States. But it was never the loudest, flashiest, or most aggressive military on the stage. Now that era is over. The nation is stepping out from the supporting cast and claiming a lead role, and it's doing so with the confidence of a heavyweight that's just finished months of fight camp. This isn't about picking up a few extra jets or adding a couple of submarines for prestige. This is a deep, deliberate metamorphosis. An island continent is repositioning itself as a regional power broker. A Pacific giant is stretching, flexing, and preparing as if it's about to compete in the military Olympics of the modern age. From a record-shattering defense budget to advanced missile technology, from nuclear-powered submarines to sovereign cyber infrastructure, Australia is no longer simply modernizing, it's militarizing with precision and purpose. Quietly at first, then with growing confidence, the Australian Defence Force, ADF, is forging itself into one of the most formidable forces in the entire Indo-Pacific. And this isn't for ceremonial parades or press photos. This is a military being built to stand toe-to-toe with any regional challenger, and to project enough deterrence to make that challenger hesitate. The geopolitical tides have turned. The Indo-Pacific is no longer a calm blue highway for trade ships. It's a strategic chessboard littered with contested territories, maritime flashpoints, and the looming shadow of nuclear capability. China's rapid naval expansion is rewriting the balance of power. North Korea's provocations keep military planners awake at night. Cyber and space warfare are no longer theoretical, they're active, escalating, and borderless. For Australia, this isn't the backyard barbecue anymore. This is the frontline command post of a high-stakes regional contest, and Canberra's answer is clear: no more passive observing. It's strapping on armor, sharpening its arsenal, and stepping into the arena with both firepower and the strategic cunning of a kangaroo that knows exactly when to fight and how to win. Right now, Australia ranks 18th in global military power, a number that drastically undersells what's happening beneath the surface. The numbers paint the picture in stark detail. In 2025, Australia's defense budget hit an all-time high, $7 billion, about 36.8 billion US dollars. That's 2.02% of GDP, a level not seen since World War II, and this is no mere accounting milestone, this is rearmament with intent. The 6.3% year-over-year increase isn't random inflation, it's urgency. It's the recognition that the South China Sea is heating up, cyber threats are intensifying, and an arms race is already underway in the region. This spending isn't only going into missiles, tanks, and warships. It's funding sovereign manufacturing capacity, expanding cyber defense, accelerating advanced military research, and reinforcing digital infrastructure. It's a holistic investment in long-term independence, the kind that ensures Australia never has to wait for another nation's permission to defend itself. And yes, part of that budget is going into sharper uniforms, because morale is a weapon too. And nowhere is this transformation more visible than in the AUKUS Pact, a trilateral alliance with the United States and the United Kingdom that is far more than a diplomatic gesture. Australia is going nuclear not with warheads but with propulsion. The Royal Australian Navy's future fleet of nuclear-powered submarines will grant it range, stealth, and endurance on a scale the nation has never possessed. These subs won't just patrol coastlines, they'll prowl entire oceans undetected for months, able to surface anywhere from the South China Sea to the Arabian Sea without warning. But AUKUS goes far beyond submarines. It's a strategic deep dive into advanced missile technology, cyber warfare collaboration, AI-enabled battlefield decision-making, and quantum computing breakthroughs. From real-time satellite intelligence sharing to synchronized logistics chains and AI-enhanced wargaming, AUKUS isn't just an acronym, it's the scaffolding of a completely new military posture in the Indo-Pacific. Joint military exercises with the US, UK, and close regional partners like Japan and India are the visible proof of this pivot. And this isn't just talk. Australia is physically arming up. The M1A2 SEP V3 Abrams tanks are inbound, the most advanced armored warfare platforms the ADF has ever fielded. They'll operate alongside Rheinmetall's Boxer combat reconnaissance vehicles, already rolling out with cutting-edge sensors, high-grade armor, and devastating firepower. Then there's HIMARS, high-mobility artillery rocket systems with ranges exceeding 500 kilometers. The arsenal is expanding to include long-range anti-ship missiles, LRSM, Tomahawk cruise missiles, and even hypersonic strike systems under a joint development program. The logic is brutal and simple. If it moves and threatens, it gets targeted. If it hides, it gets found. If it lingers, it gets vaporized. But firepower without intelligence is just noise, so Australia is building a battlefield brain to match its brawn. Beneath the waves, the Royal Australian Navy is undergoing its most ambitious transformation in living memory. The aging Collins-class subs will be retired and replaced with the AUKUS nuclear-powered attack submarines, silent hunters capable of spanning continents before detection. On the surface, new Hunter-class frigates, upgraded offshore patrol vessels, and an expanded fleet of support ships are being built to enable sustained blue water operations far from home. Northern naval hubs like HMAS Stirling and Darwin are being upgraded into fortified forward deployment bases ready to host allied warships and joint task forces at a moment's notice. This isn't about merely guarding Australia's own shoreline. This is about commanding the maritime arteries that keep the Indo-Pacific alive, from the Indian Ocean to the South Pacific. Australia is pouring resources into maritime logistics, replenishment vessels, naval aviation integration, and vast underwater sensor networks to monitor key choke points. Behind the steel and armor lies a digital nervous system that's quietly revolutionizing the ADF. Australia is going all in on AI-powered logistics, autonomous drones, cyber warfare platforms, and next-generation sensors. The Guided Weapons and Explosive Ordnance Enterprise, GWEO, is perhaps the most ambitious of all, a sovereign missile manufacturing capability that will ensure Australia never again has to beg, borrow, or wait for foreign stockpiles in a crisis. Quantum computing research labs, electronic warfare centers, and AI-enhanced command systems are coming online at speed. Australia isn't just importing the tools of modern warfare, it's inventing them. While other countries are locked in political debates over social media apps, Australia is wiring its defense network to think faster, maneuver smarter, and outlast any hostile actor. Cybersecurity is now as vital as shipbuilding, and Canberra is investing billions to harden networks, secure communications, and ensure that its AI remains ethical in design, but lethal in action. Because in the next Indo-Pacific War, victory won't go to the side with the most boots on the ground. It will go to the side that can code faster, process information quicker, and strike first with absolute precision. And Australia intends to be that side. On the surface, Australia is a sunburnt country of beaches, deserts, and eucalyptus trees. But beneath that postcard exterior, in military terms, it's morphing into an amphibious juggernaut. The Canberra-class landing helicopter docks, LHDs, are not just ships, they're floating fortresses. With the ability to deploy troops, tanks, armored vehicles, and helicopters to remote islands or contested shores. From the Philippines to Fiji, in multinational exercises, Australia has demonstrated that it can execute rapid deployments, synchronize fire support, and conduct beach landings with the precision and elegance of a tactical ballet. Supporting these capabilities are Australia's special forces, among the best-trained, most versatile operators in the world. The Commandos and SASR aren't just fighters, they're multi-domain warriors. One mission might have them inserting from a Black Hawk, infiltrating enemy cyber systems, neutralizing a threat, and disappearing into the jungle before the opposition's radar even powers up. The integration of amphibious readiness with elite special forces means Australia can project force almost anywhere in its strategic neighborhood, often within hours. Now shift your eyes to the skies. Australia's Air Force doesn't just fly, it owns the airspace with surgical precision and strategic dominance. The F-35A Lightning II stealth fighters are fully operational and expanding in number. They fly alongside F/A-18F Super Hornets and EA-18G Growlers, a pairing that delivers both aerial dogfighting prowess and the ability to blind enemy radar. But the crown jewel of Australia's aerial surveillance, the P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft and MQ-4C Triton drones. And then there's the legendary Jindalee operational radar network JORN. This isn't just radar, it's a strategic crystal ball. Thousands of kilometers in range, able to detect ships leaving foreign ports or missiles launching from deep in the Indian Ocean. JORN lets the ADF see what's coming while there's still time to act. In the Indo-Pacific, that's not an advantage, it's a superpower. But here's the truth, modern war isn't won by machines alone. It's fought and won by the people who operate them. And Australia is making sure its defense personnel are as advanced as its hardware. The ADF is expanding its ranks, focusing not just on numbers, but on quality, diversity, and resilience. Women now serve in every combat role. With global recruitment open to select friendly nations, Australia is building a coalition army within its own uniforms. A multinational force with Aussie accents, shared values, and unified purpose. And it's investing in those people, offering housing upgrades, advanced training, education programs, and recruitment incentives. This isn't just about filling ranks, it's about making military service a premier career path, one that combines purpose, challenge, and world-class benefits. And all of this is happening in the most contested strategic arena on Earth, the Indo-Pacific. This region isn't a quiet trade route anymore. It's a cockpit of global competition. A pressure cooker where every move is monitored by satellites and every misstep can spark a crisis. China is building artificial islands like Lego sets, militarizing them and expanding its territorial claims. North Korea is firing missiles into open waters as if testing how far it can push before someone pushes back. Piracy, cyber attacks, climate-driven migration, and contested sea lanes make the Indo-Pacific the epicenter of 21st century tension. Australia's military rise is about more than defending its own territory. It's about regional stability. It's about ensuring Pacific nations can say no to coercion, keeping trade routes open and preventing flashpoints like Taiwan from igniting into conflicts no one wants but everyone fears. And alliances are the multiplier. The ADF trains shoulder to shoulder with U.S. Marines in Darwin, drills with Japanese self-defense forces in combined maneuvers, and partners with Southeast Asian militaries in exercises like Talisman Sabre and Indo-Pacific Endeavor. These aren't symbolic gestures, they're combat-ready rehearsals that turn intent into credible deterrence. So, what do you call a nation that's transformed from a quiet regional contributor into a fully fledged power projector in under a decade? You call it prepared. You call it dangerous to those who threaten peace. You call it Australia 2.0, from amphibious assault ships to orbital surveillance networks, from nuclear propulsion to hypersonic missiles. Australia's military power is no longer quietly competent. It's loud, layered, and lethal. It's a force designed to anticipate, not just react, with the reach, the allies, the technology, and the will to hold the line in a region balanced on a knife's edge. So here's a word of advice for any adversary eyeing the Indo-Pacific. Look south. Because Australia is not just watching, it's tracking, it's targeting. And when the time comes, it will act with the precision of a scalpel, the strength of a sledgehammer, and the speed of a thunderclap. And in the 21st century, that's exactly the kind of power you never want to test. So follow Battlefield Watch and stay ahead of the wars shaping our future.